Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Bitcoin is still playing out the bearish signal that I've been warning about here on the channel, as the price is now taking out all of this liquidity that was sitting just below the price of Bitcoin, something else that I've been warning about here on the channel. And while this is happening, the price of Bitcoin is potentially starting to break below very important support, pointing towards a possible trend reversal and much lower prices. So I'll be talking about that in just a moment, alongside the price of Solana, which is now possibly flashing a new signal in the short term, while the price of XRP is getting very close to confirming a major bearish price pattern, setting up a major bearish price target. So I'll be talking about all of that and more later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, starting off on the 4-day Bitcoin price chart, and over the last 1 day, not much has changed in the super trend indicator, but it is worth pointing out that more recently, of course, the super trend indicator has given a few false signals more recently. Historically speaking, it has been very accurate for the price of Bitcoin, especially on the larger time frames, but it is worth noting that once again, at least as of right now, it's not been too accurate. And if we're taking a look at the weekly Bitcoin price chart, obviously, as I've already been saying for the last 1 week or so, we're losing momentum in the weekly Bitcoin MACD. And so obviously, at least in the shorter term for now, this is a sign of weakness for the price of Bitcoin on this chart right here. And if we're taking a look at this weekly Bitcoin chart, as I've already been warning about every day for the last half a week, for almost 1 week now, I've been warning about this major bearish divergence on the weekly Bitcoin chart, with higher highs confirmed in the price and lower highs confirmed in the weekly Bitcoin RSI. And ever since I started warning about this major bearish signal on the larger time frames over the last 1 week, give or take, a lot of people were telling me there's no way this could possibly play out right now. Surely we're just going to go straight towards the upside into new all-time highs. And well, obviously right now we're continuing to show a lot of weakness in the short term, further confirming this bearish divergence. And the last few times we've confirmed a bearish divergence on the weekly time frame, we've usually seen a major pullback for a couple of months. Not just a short-term little move, but a few months worth of bearish price action is a likely scenario here, considering that's what happened last time at this bearish divergence between these two highs. We saw a pullback for roughly 2 to 3 months, and then the time before that was around mid 2023. Of course, we saw higher highs in the price and lower highs in the RSI on the weekly time frame, and then we saw a pullback for around 1 to 2 months or so. And then of course the time before that was at the top of the 2021 bull market, just before the 2022 bear market. And so with a significant warning signal like this on the larger time frames that I've been warning about for a long time now on the channel, not just the latest bearish divergence, but of course this previous bearish divergence I talked about at the beginning of this year. Once again, this is telling us that we're really losing a lot of bullish momentum in this bull market, and it's very likely we're going to see a much larger slowdown here. And so if in a month from now, for example, the price of Bitcoin is at much lower prices, don't say I didn't warn you. You heard it here first. Once again, major warning signals that I've already been saying since pretty much the highs, the all-time highs. I've been talking about this bearish divergence. And if we're taking a look at this 3-day time frame, of course, right now we're still finding significant resistance at that all-time high breakout level at around 110,000. And once again, as I've been warning about every day for the last 2 weeks now on the channel, we're losing significant momentum, losing bullish momentum in a significant way here on the 3-day time frame, closer towards a bearish crossover. And at the current rate, potentially in a matter of days from now, we could confirm a bearish crossover in the 3-day Bitcoin MACD. And the last time we saw that was around the end of December 2024. And of course, what came next was, first of all, a sideways consolidation for a little while, and then ultimately a larger pullback over the next couple of months. And so either way, we are continuing to show weakness in the short term, likely pointing towards a much larger slowdown or a larger pullback over a period of weeks or months. And if we're taking a look at this daily Bitcoin price chart, currently the price of Bitcoin, as of recording this video, is starting to break below very important support, which is sitting in between around 101 to 102,000. And now technically at the time of recording this video, we've not yet confirmed a daily candle close below this support. But if we end up confirming a daily candle close, for example, below around 101,000, and especially if we fail to get back above that level and flip that into new resistance, in that situation, we can basically call the end of this bullish trend, because that would be the first significant change in price structure on the the daily time frame that we've seen since we previously reversed this bearish trend into a new bullish trend back during around early to mid-April. And if we actually confirm this break below these previous lows here, like I just said, in that situation, it's extremely likely we'll continue a drop down towards this next area of support in between around 96,000 to 98,000. And if we fail to hold that area, the next support will be sitting at around 92 to 93,000. But once again, technically speaking, we still have to wait for confirmation here, actually confirming the break with candle closes below 101 to 102,000. At least as I've recorded in this video, once again, we've not yet done that. But either way, continue to expect weakness in the short term, as I've been saying every day for weeks now on the channel. And as for resistance, we do have a decent amount of resistance at approximately 106,000, 110,000, and also 112,000. And if we're taking a look at the 12-hour time frame, obviously the price of Bitcoin is still perfectly playing out the bearish divergence that I've been warning about every day now for weeks now on the channel since pretty much the all-time highs here. And so considering the fact that, of course, the RSI is still trending in the bearish direction, once again, that is a sign of weakness, telling us we should not be expecting any significant bullish momentum anytime soon. Once again, I've been repeating myself, saying that same thing this entire time here, while a lot of people are telling me I'll be wrong and no, we're going to see a lot of bullish price action. Actually, I was saying we're going to see bearish price action as a likely scenario, either bearish or at best neutral. And considering the fact that we've not yet confirmed any invalidation signal to invalidate this bearish divergence, that means at least for now, the bearish divergence is still currently active, which means continue to expect this sort of price action moving forward. And if we're taking a look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, obviously just recently over the last few hours or so, we've now wiped out that area of liquidity that I warned about over the last few days once again, which was sitting at around 103,000 approximately. And obviously, if you watched my last few videos here on the channel, you'll see me talking about that 103K level and how it's extremely likely, never a 100% guarantee, but very, very likely the price will be bearish very soon to wipe out that liquidity to the downside. And so obviously that's exactly played out now as predicted. We've taken out that liquidity. And now that the price has taken out that liquidity, obviously we don't really have any significant liquidity just below the current price of Bitcoin right now, at least in the shorter term here. But with that being said, of course, we are still seeing weakness. So overall, even though we don't necessarily have a particular price level to focus on in the Bitcoin liquidation heat map right now, once again, continue to expect weakness in the short term because that is still the situation. We're still seeing this bearish divergence on the 12-hour time frame, and of course now the bearish divergence on the weekly time frame start to play out. And so once again, just don't be surprised if we continue to play out this sort of price action moving forward. And of course, once again, we've not yet technically confirmed a bearish trend reversal on the daily time frame. We're still waiting for that confirmation signal with the daily candle close below these lows right here at around 101 to 102,000 to actually confirm a breakdown in this price structure. And so this is really the last hope for the price of Bitcoin, at least when we're talking about the next few weeks or possibly months. And now, obviously, if we're talking about the super long term, multiple years from now, I'm still ultimately very bullish on the price of Bitcoin as a very long term holding, but just in the somewhat short to mid term, once again, a period of weeks or months, obviously it's not looking too good here, especially if we confirm the break below this level. And so with all of that in mind, what is my trading strategy for the price of Bitcoin? And well, right now, obviously, I previously entered the long position at much lower prices here, basically trading the swing trade towards the upside, the larger bullish trend here on the daily time frame, which I entered at this breakout point right here, which I shared here on the channel back then at around 88,000, as you can see right here. And then throughout this trading strategy, as I've been sharing along the way, I've been taking a small amount of profits here and there at certain points of resistance along the way, and of course slowly moving my stop loss further and further into profits. And over the last one day, I've made no new changes to this position. And so obviously at the current rate of the price of Bitcoin, it is quite likely that very soon this trade could be stopped out here. So if the price just continues a bit more of a pullback below around 100,000, then of course that will just hit the stop loss and automatically close this trade for me in profits. And even in this worst case scenario, if the price just crashes and hits this stop loss, ultimately, once again, that would exit the trade automatically at that level. And based on where the stop loss is sitting at, and based on my current realized profits already out of this long position, ultimately the trade will make over 10,000 USD, essentially guaranteed at this point, even in the worst case scenario if the price just hits the stop loss. And so obviously, congrats to everyone that actually took this trading opportunity over the last 1 to 1.5 months, which I've been sharing very transparently transparently every day this entire time here, from the moment we saw this breakout and the change in price structure from bearish to bullish back down there. Obviously, I've been trading this entire time in a larger long position. But then once again, if we break below this important point on the price chart, below these previous lows, stopping out this long position, obviously they'll just close the trade. And then from that point onwards, I'll potentially look at new trading opportunities, either potentially a short position if we start to form more of a bearish trend and continue to see more weakness, especially with the bearish divergence on the weekly time frame. Or if I don't take a short position, I'll potentially just wait for lower prices to accumulate Bitcoin at cheaper prices. But either way, of course, if I'm taking these trades, I will be sharing them here on this channel very transparently, completely for free on YouTube. So you might as well subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, with notifications turned on, so that you don't miss out on any of these important update videos, which I'm sharing on this channel completely for free, when a lot of other people out there actually charge for this information. And believe it or not, you can actually profit from bearish price action using things like short positions, for example. And if you want to get set up ready to go to take these trading opportunities in the price of Bitcoin or any other crypto, personally, I'm taking this trade right here over on 2bit. So I'll make sure to leave a link to 2bit below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link, it'll take you to this page right here where you can claim some massive trading bonuses, like for example, up to $50,000 in trading bonuses just by trading crypto using the link below this video. But if you're not one of these larger traders here, you can also get a $30 sign up bonus and a 20% deposit rebate up to a max of 200 USDT. So for example, if you deposit $1,000, you get a $200 bonus, but only if you use the link to 2bit. And in case you're wondering, 2bit is a no KYC exchange, which means you can access it from basically any country in the world without needing any KYC. But as always, check your local regulations when it comes to trading crypto. And for whatever reason, if you don't want 2bit as an exchange, there's also BTNex as another exchange out there that I also trade on. So I'll also make sure to leave a link to BTNex below this video. And if you use that link, it'll take you to this page right here where you can actually claim a massive fee discount, a 10% discount on all trading fees on BTNex forever. That is a lifetime fee discount that is only available using that link below this video. And in case you're wondering, BTNex is also a no KYC exchange. So if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, like what I'm doing right here to profit no matter what the price is doing, then of course get set up ready to go using the links below this video if you want to claim these massive bonuses. But with that being said, taking a look at Ethereum on the daily time frame, and at least for now, obviously, like I've been saying for weeks now, the price of ETH is lacking momentum. We're still chopping around sideways in a sideways price range, bouncing around between support and resistance. So first of all, we still have significant resistance in between 2.7k to 2.8k. And as for support, we do have a bit of short-term support. We're now starting to break below at around 2470, but we also have more support closer towards 2.4k as well. But if we start breaking below this area of support, in that situation, the next target, the next major point of support to focus on would be sitting at around 2.1k. And if we break below that level, then I'd focus on around 1.8k. And overall, expect similar price action, not the exact same price action, but similar price action for Ethereum as to what Bitcoin is doing. So obviously, if Bitcoin is looking like this, that's not going to help Ethereum. Unfortunately, that is the situation. While Bitcoin is looking like this, don't necessarily expect a major bullish move for Ethereum, because obviously there's always some outliers when it comes to moves between the different crypto assets, but usually Bitcoin tends to lead the market most of the time. Usually if Bitcoin's having a pullback or a major pump, most of the altcoins are doing something similar. But honestly, nothing much else has changed for Ethereum over the last one day. So getting straight into the price of Solana on the daily time frame, and what we are seeing right now is a major break below very significant support sitting in between around 143 to 146. And now technically speaking, we still need to actually confirm the candle close on the daily time frame below that area of support to actually confirm the break to the downside. But obviously so far it is not looking too good. And of course, ever since we broke this line all the way back up here at around 166, give or take, ever since that point Bitcoin, I've been saying we have bearish price structure. That was the change in price structure that I've been saying every day over the last 1 to 2 weeks now, pointing towards more bearish price action. And so we're simply still playing out the bearish price structure once again, as I've been saying for a while now on the channel. And the next major point of support below the current level that we're currently breaking is sitting at around 133 and also at around 125 as the next points of support to watch out for. And if we're zooming into the shorter term, taking a look at the 4-hour time frame, obviously exactly as I warned about in my last video, since before the latest dump, I said we've seen one invalidation signal to invalidate the bullish divergence. So first of all, for a couple of days here, we saw a short-term bullish relief as a result of this bullish divergence, exactly as predicted. And then once again, as I said yesterday, we've now invalidated, or at least seen one invalidation signal to invalidate the bullish divergence with a breakdown in the RSI, which means we should not rely on the bullish divergence any longer. And obviously, since I said that yesterday, we have seen a further dump. But it is possible we could form a new bullish divergence on the 8-hour time frame, with clearly lower lows forming in the price and higher lows possibly forming in the 8-hour Solana RSI. But I want to make this clear, at least for now, this new possible bullish divergence is not confirmed. It is not in play. We're still just waiting for it to potentially confirm. So it's a signal that's flashing on the chart, but once again, not currently playing out. And so in order to actually confirm this bullish divergence, we need to actually confirm this higher low in place, which means we need to see some sort of slight little bounce very, very soon. If we continue this pullback, even just for a little longer here, that will pull the RSI into lower lows, which means we have no divergence. And so essentially we need to quickly confirm 1 to 2 green candles here on the 8-hour time frame very soon without seeing much more bearish price action in order to confirm this possible new bullish divergence. And if that were to happen here over the next few hours, over the next one day, it's possible we could see a few days, maybe a week of a bullish relief, but once again, it is not currently confirmed. And so overall, at least based on the current situation, based on what is confirmed, we do have bearish price structure, as I've been warning about for a while now on the channel once again. So ultimately expect bearish price action as the most likely scenario here. And if we're taking a look at the price of XRP on the daily time frame, unfortunately, it's a similar situation for XRP. Once again, as I've said for a long time now on the channel, XRP, along with most altcoins, follow very similar price action to what Bitcoin is doing. So if Bitcoin's pulling back, expect something similar for most altcoins, XRP included. And we're now potentially about to confirm a new bearish price pattern, a head and shoulders pattern for the price of XRP on the daily time frame. Obviously, we have a left shoulder right here, a head and a right shoulder, and we're now breaking below the neckline, which is sitting at around 210 to 215. And now, technically speaking, we still have to wait to see a daily candle close below this point of support right here, sitting at approximately 214. Once again, in between 210 to 215. We still need to wait for a candle close below that area to technically confirm the break to the downside and activate the head and shoulders pattern. So just keep that in mind. But obviously, for now, it is not looking too good. We've already completed the formation phase and getting very close to actually confirming the break to the downside. And if we're taking a look at the technical price target for this head and shoulders pattern on the daily XRP price chart, that price target is sitting at around $1.76 to $1.77. So from the point of the break to that price target, that was potentially around a 17 to 18% move towards the downside, or from the current price as of recording this video to that price target, that's still around a 15% move towards the downside that could likely be coming next in the next few days or weeks here, especially if we confirm the candle close, confirm the break below this neckline, below that line of support. And so this is also potentially a trading opportunity we could possibly take here. Once again, during bearish price action, we can still profit in the market using things like short positions, for example, to profit along the way towards the downside. So even though we're bearish, that is not necessarily bad news. We can still make money no matter what direction the price goes. And so all we need as crypto traders to make money in the market is a potential entry point and an exit point out of a trade. So it doesn't matter what direction. Once again, we could enter at this break to the downside and then basically close the trade, exit the trade at the price target. In the case of a short position, obviously would make money in the bearish direction here, and then obviously in the opposite direction, it would be a long position. But at least in my situation, personally, I like to wait for confirmation to actually confirm the break below a key level before actually entering a trade. Sometimes I might open the trade with a small amount before seeing confirmation if I'm relatively confident, and then simply add to the trade once we see confirmation confirmation. So sometimes I do that, but at least for now, I've not yet taken a trade here, but I will be looking at this very closely and could likely take a trade potentially over the next 1 to 2 days if we see some more confirmation. And so once again, definitely make sure you're subscribed to this channel with notifications turned on so that you never miss out on any of these important update videos where I'm always sharing these trading strategies. And if we're taking a look at the price of Chainlink on the daily time frame, obviously Chainlink is continuing to play out the bearish price structure exactly as I've been warning about for days, if not weeks now on the channel. Basically, ever since we broke below this golden pocket in between around 1490 to 1550, that was the point where we started to change from this previous bullish price structure into new bearish price structure, forming lower lows and lower highs. And so once again, that is still the situation here. From time to time, we can see little short-term reliefs, but the current trend is still currently bearish for the price of Chainlink. And we're currently running into a key Fibonacci point of support sitting at around $12.80 as of recording this video. But if we start breaking below $12.80, in that situation, we have more support at roughly around $12.20. But if we break below $12.20, in that situation, it's likely we could see a dump below $11, in between around $10 to $11 as the next major area of support. But remember, at least for now, we're still currently running into this $12.80 level, at least as of recording this video. So if we end up seeing some sort of bounce here, obviously we have a lot of resistance above the price to watch out for. First of all, we have some resistance at around $13.50 based on previous support becoming new resistance. And then above that, we have a bit of resistance at roughly around $14.30. But of course, the major resistance is this golden pocket here sitting in between $14.90 to $15.50. And unlike the price of XRP, which did form a bit of a right shoulder here, helping to form the head and shoulders pattern, the price of Chainlink, on the other hand, barely formed any right shoulder. We basically stayed relatively flat, which means, technically speaking, we don't really have a head and shoulders pattern here on the daily time frame for the price of Chainlink. But either way, obviously, we are looking bearish. We're seeing bearish price structure showing a lot of weakness in the short term. And so that is still the situation. That is still playing out, as I've been saying for a while now on the channel. And of course, if you want to get set up, ready to go to take these trading opportunities, get set up, ready to go using the links below this video to those exchanges if you want to claim those massive bonuses that are only available using those links. And if you want to know how you can easily profit in the crypto market, no matter what direction the price goes, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen, because the video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions. And the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.